Oh, this lighting is horrible. How is everybody today? I am doing good. Today is Saturday, November 17th. It is after 4 in the afternoon, and it is getting dark outside. I'm sure it's later than 4, probably closer to 5. Yeah, closer to 5. So it's getting really dark out. Really early. Thank you for daylight savings time. So I don't have a whole, I do have a lot to share. I have a couple of finishes and a few whips, and that's about it. I don't have any haul. I don't have any happy mail. I am expecting things, but they have not come in yet, so Canada Post is doing a rotating strike, so that might be causing some delays in some of our parcels, but we can't blame that, the whole thing on that. But so life update. Not a whole lot has changed. It's been about 3 weeks since my last video, and everything is pretty much the same as it has been. I know Thanksgiving is coming up for the Americans down south, and I know a few people who are heading down to see their family down there, so happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys who are celebrating now instead of in October. I needed something warm today. So, coffee crisp hot chocolate. Let's see what else is there. I was also going to show my things that I have planned. Get it up for potential starts in the near future, nearish future, 2019. But hopefully I get some of these other whips finished first. So, in no particular order, I will show you my whips. And this one here is actually part of my year of whips for 2018, but I forgot to show it in my last video. Shame on me, because this one is Rudolph. I mean, he is the most important reindeer of all of them. How could I have forgotten him? Well, the reason is because I had him in a project bag out in the living room, and I didn't bring in that project bag. So here is where I'm at with this. And this is being stitched on 32 count Nocturne by Picture This Plus. I've had a little more progress since the last video would have been, but added more to the leg here and the gold here, and he wouldn't have had a face on the last video, and more of the wreath around his neck. So I'm hoping this will be the next reindeer that gets finished. So I am going to be working on this one more and more in the next couple weeks. Maybe it'll be finished in time for Christmas. Maybe. So there's that. I really have no order here. Everything's just all over the place. On the 1st, I'm stitching on the project that I picked for the Mirabilia seasonal stitching, whatever it is. The Australian stitchers are stitching on the Queens, Mirabilia's Queens of the seasons for whichever season it happens to be in Australia, which right now would be spring. So I joined in with my version, and I am stitching not the Queens, but Dressmaker's Daughter. I figured it was a good excuse to start this, and I am starting with spring. So that dress there. And on the 1st of the month, I am putting more stitches into it. And here's where I am now. I will try to insert a picture of where I was before, but it might be a little harder to find. And now I've done more up here. So the darker purple stitching there is what I've done this month. Don't know if I need this, but let's see. I don't know if it's showing through or not. There. And this is being stitched on 32 count something by Extrude Designs. And it's funny because I was going through my stash, kitting up those things that I was going to show, that I am going to show you in a bit. And I was thinking, I know I have another Extrude Designs fabric, and I could not think of where it was. Now I know. Found it. It's right here. And Gidget is wandering around at my feet here. Come here. Come on. Come on. She has a new fascination, and it does not involve a ball. It involves this new toy that we got. It's actually Gonzo's toy, but she stole it. It is this thing, which is only a week old. But she has ripped out 3 out of the 5 squeakers. In here. Look at there. What's that? But she loves it so much. She takes it everywhere right now. And as long as she has that, she's content. Whereas before, it was the ball. And I can even say ball in her presence, and she's not freaking out. So, what else did we stitch on? Well, I don't know what you were stitching on, but I was stitching on that was one day. Rudolph was a couple of days. I don't know if I shared this one since my last update. Or, I mean, I don't know if I stitched on this since my last update. But I do have a story about this one. This is my Stony Creek 2006, I think, commemorative sampler for the Cross Stitch Festival, I think. Anyways, the last bit of stitching that I did was these tendrils of flowers needed more. Well, they weren't done. This was done up to here. I added this bit, which meant that I had to go into my stash and dig out the anchor floss because it was only charted in anchor, which I had been using at the time. And I had bought newer bobbins because for some reason Walmart sold them bobbinated when I was doing this, and I had all of the bobbins for this project in the bottom of my stitching cabinet right over there, not put away with the older anchor floss bobbins that I had. Does that make sense? Anyways, so when I kitted this up, I had got more anchor floss on bobbins. That was in a kit, and that was put in there when I thought I was done with it. Well, so I needed those couple of colors, and then I pulled those bobbins out and realized that's what this was all about, was those were for that. And I stitched what I had left to stitch for the regular cotton. I hope that doesn't bother you because it's just background noise to me. So anyways, I never had a problem with this before. And so I had been stitching, and I just leave my bobbin on the side table, ready to pick up and use again. And I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never had a problem with it. But the one day, I came home, and on my chair, I put a blanket because the dogs are going to lay on my chair, so I put a blanket down for them to lay on. And on that blanket was a mess of thread, because somebody decided that she wanted to chew on the floss, which has never ever happened before. And I really don't think it was Gonzo, because Gonzo's been around for 10 years and he's blind now, and she's eyeing it up right now, waiting for me to put it down. She's either, I don't know, maybe it's because, I don't know, something about this floss makes her want to chew on it. So now I know, always put my floss away. Don't leave it out where she can reach it. She's like following this with her eyes, like. So there's that little story. Now she's going over there. I can't believe it. I don't know, maybe it smells funny or something. So anyways, so that was that. And you know what? I have not been keeping track of my stitching like I had been. So I can't tell you how many days on what. I know why it seems like I haven't stitched a lot. Because I finished something. I finished something that has been in the works for quite a while, And so this was my focus for the last couple weeks, and it is finally finished. I started this, I have it written down somewhere. I have it written down in here actually. I started this in March of 2016. And I finished it on the, I don't know, 7th, 8th. Check Instagram. I'm pretty sure I posted pictures. This is Nora Corbett, Mirabilia. Wherefore art thou, mystery? A small sampler, mystery stitch along pattern base. And the lighting is not the greatest because of the time of day, but there are a lot of beads. All of this is beads. All of the collar is beads. And there's also this, which I do have ready to attach. It's supposed to be attached right there. But, I don't want to say but, I'm not attaching it until it's ready to go to the framer. And who knows when that'll be. So, there's that. And it is beautiful. And I stitched mine with all the overdyed floss, Gentle Arts, Weeks Dye Works, Crescent Colors, I think. And with all the called for beads. On the called for fabric, 32 count. I think it's natural linen. Not 100% sure about that, but the color is what is called for in the pattern, I'm sure. And it is finished. It is beautiful. So that will go with my collection of things to be framed. And, you know, the bin of shame. Because there are so many things to be framed. So there's that finish. And here is my other finish. This is not, I have one thing left to do to it. And I had it finished, like the stitching was finished a while ago. But I finished the stocking by Just Nan. I know you were hoping for the other stocking, but I just don't think this color will work with that other stocking. I may have to suck it up and use it, but this was a cape for a Halloween costume that I found at a thrift store. So that is what I used for this, and I just have to finish the name tag to attach it there. And it's funny because the Yeah, I know. It says Elena. Elena B, it's not for you. No, and you wouldn't even like it. It's not your style. Look at all those specialty stitches. No. Anyways, yeah, I had a hard time deciding what name to put on it because in the email I got, we were discussing the stocking for my nephew's girlfriend, wife. They've been together so long, you know. Anyways, in the email it says her name, Elena, just like that. But then when I was in a conversation with them, they keep calling her Tina, which is really weird because then I'm like, oh no, they must have made a mistake because we're talking Tina, you know, and then Tina did this, and it's like weird. So anyways, I put Elena. The email said Elena, so it's Elena. And because I am using a recycled cape, I didn't even have to make the loop because this, and I was going to, and I was ready to just, you know, cut my strip, fold it together and sew it, and then I realized the tie to hold the cape, to tie the cape on, was perfect. So I just snipped that off, and I have the other piece to put on here to attach it, and then it'll be done. So that is finished, 98%, and then it can be stuffed full of stuff and mailed off. And what else did I work on? Well, I did not work a whole lot on Beloved, but I know you want to see it. People who are familiar with my channel know that I've been working on this one a lot. This is Beloved. Let me find a picture. It's right there. Beloved, artwork by Adele Sessler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Okay, I might have to edit that out. But yeah, they're freaking out over nothing. Okay, so Beloved by Adele Sessler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I've been working on this one since, I can't remember when. Actually it's right in here, I think August of 2016. Stitched on 25 count white even weave as per suggested. And here's where I am now. I will try to include a picture of before, but you will see there is not much difference. So, the most recent progress is down in this corner. Right down here. And that's really about all that is new. I have not been stitching on it in the mornings like I had been, which is really shameful. I should get back to that. because I make a lot of progress when I do that. Even this morning when I sat down to work on it, I didn't stitch very much on it. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything except for the one that's right over here, which is a little bit harder because I left it on the floor stand. And that's the one that I work on the 15th of the month, because the 15th is my birthday, 15th of July, and I started an Alice in Wonderland piece, go figure. And I don't know if I can hold this up very easily. So this is the one that I was talking about where I'm having trouble because I made a conversion, changed it to overdyes, and I'm having trouble matching the overdyes. So that's my fault. And I know somebody has suggested that I blend or tweed my old floss with the new floss, and that'll extend it. And I'm thinking I might do that and create like a fade in the part where it's the most obvious. So this is not going to be easy. Let's see. How's that? So the only thing that I really worked on was this red right over here. That's all that I added, was that bit of red. The color that I'm talking about is the color that goes in here. So fading that down would be an option. So I haven't gotten brave enough to do that yet. But when I do, you'll be the first to see it. And that is Alice by Aury, T-M-A-U-R-Y space T-M. It is no longer in print, and she has shut down business or something like that. I'm not 100% sure of what she's doing, if it's a she. But you can't get her patterns anymore, so when you find them, grab them. Which is, you know, really too bad because they are really nice. Oh. Yeah, that's what the finished pattern would look like. See, R-A-T-M. Another thing that I was working on, which took up some of my time, is a pattern for a gift exchange, which she hasn't gotten yet, so I can't really tell you too much about it. So I'll just leave it at that. Took up my time, and that's why I don't have a whole lot of stitching to show. So plans. I'm trying to look at the timer there. Okay. I know somebody wanted me to work on the Crystal Christmas, but I really wanted to get Wherefore Art Thou done, and I really had to get that exchange piece done. And I think right now it will be between that Crystal Christmas and Rudolph, because it's the season. So we'll see. I think I will pull it out and do some more work on it. But here are what I plan to work on in the upcoming year. Everybody seems to be showing what they plan on working on, so I thought, what the heck. And I was going through my bin of fabric and I was looking, oh, that would go great with that. Some things I've had kitted up for a while and really need to just start it, such as the Peacock Sampler by Victoria Sampler. And I know, reflection. I love peacocks, and I wasn't crazy about the colors. So I went and I bought assorted colors that I think will work. And I might sub out, the gold is the one that I really don't like. So that I'm going to sub out for something else. But that's what I plan on stitching in the coming year. And this one, Beautitudes by My Big Toe. I just love all that writing, all that font craziness. And I know there are a lot of people who can't stand letters in their samplers, and I'm the opposite. I love all the letters in this. And I did buy a variety of overdyes, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'm either going to use this, or I'm going to buy a hank of silk, because it uses so much. And then I was looking at my fabric that I got from Traditional Stitches. It's on sale, and I realized it goes really, really good with red. And I had the colors bought for this. Again, a lot of lettering. And this is Needleworkers ABC Darius by Tempting Tangles. And it's just a lot of words about stitches. And it is, I have pulled River Willow and Bordeaux by Weeks Dye Works, and this is what they look like. And I don't know how well these are going to show up because the lighting is horrible. It's completely dark outside, so that is what I have planned for that. The piece of fabric was just the right size. It should all work out. I've noticed that I'm not 100% in love with Weeks Dye Works. It does seem to get weak after. You can't really stitch a long length with it. So we'll see how that goes. And then this is the leftover fabric that I have from the reindeer. And that's the Picture This Plus Nocturne I have all the reindeer cut and the sleigh. So this is the piece I have left over. And I plan on stitching Beneath the Harvest Moon by Whispered by the Wind. I had intended to start it this past October, but I just didn't get around to it. So that's a future start, probably around next autumn. And of course, Alice by Mirabilia. The only reason I didn't start it when it came out was because I had another Alice on the go. So this one is going to be stitched on the Fabric of the Month by Extra Designs. Candy Duo, which is like a peachy color mixed with some blue. And that is almost all. I mean, I got the bead kit, and I will have to look at what specialty threads it needs, but that's pretty much kitted up. And the other one that I am considering starting, Old World Map by Hayden. Because who doesn't love an old world map? I know I have enough fabric to do this. I would have to get the floss pulled out and possibly buy more. But that's a potential start. And I keep telling myself, don't start another Haid until that one is finished, beloved. But sometimes you just can't resist. And I'm pretty sure you can hear the little bugger barking at my door. And that's Gonzo. He thinks it's food time. I have one more thing to show. And I gotta go take care of this dog first. Okay, I have the dogs in here with me, so hopefully they'll be quiet now. And of course, as soon as I started talking, Gonzo's head just whipped around like, what are you doing? So anyways, the last thing that I have to show you contains mature subject. So if you have small children, don't want them to see then you might want to turn this off until it's a more appropriate time. But for those of you who don't care, I'm here to do a shameless show off. My husband has a Etsy store. He's designing cross stitch, and he's finished one of his designs. And his shop is Flinging Ink on Etsy, all one word. And there are quite a few designs out there, but he only has so much time to stitch, and I have so much stitching I'm already doing. So he has finished his first one, and this is Sierra. And we have glare galore. How can I show this? How's that? There we go. So a lot of his artwork designs are to be stitched on black with a few colors for the lines. And just in case you're wondering, that's not me. No. So, there it is. And there's the dog going crazy. And there's the horse. And the unicorn clock. So, if you're interested in this design or others like it, go to flingingink.com. Not flingingink.com. Etsy. The dogs are freaking out, so I guess that means that it's time to go. Catch me on Instagram at TinaStitches74. Like and subscribe, and keep on stitching. Bye. Come here, Gonzo. Come on. Come on. There we go. And you hear her? Get it? She is so jealous. She is so jealous of her Gonzo. Yes, I know. He really needs a haircut. All right. There you go. That was Gonzo. Who won't sit still because it's time to eat. Okay, for real. Bye.